Today, we are going to talk about another prominent figure in the Bible. His name is Nimrod, the life of Nimrod, a biblical reflection for today. So Nimrod is one of the most intriguing and complex figures in the Bible. His story is brief yet rich with lessons. He appears in Genesis 10, the table of nations, as the grandson of Noah through Ham. Nimrod's life stands out not only because of his accomplishments, but also due to the negative connotation that followed him throughout the Bible. His story presents powerful reflection on power, ambition, and leadership that are incredibly relevant to our modern world. So 1. The rise of Nimrod, a mighty hunter before the Lord. So Nimrod's name is first mentioned in Genesis 10, verse 8 to 9, where it states that he became a mighty hunter before the Lord. This title suggests that Nimrod was both powerful and skilled, a leader who stood out in a world still recovering from the great flood. The phrase "before the Lord" can be understood in two ways. Either it implies that his strength was acknowledged by God, or it suggests that he was proud of his achievement, seeking to establish his greatness in front of God. So modern reflection. In today's world, Nimrod's title of mighty hunter can be compared to individuals who rise to prominence through their ability, influence, or personal accomplishment. We live in an age where many are chasing success, be it business, entertainment, or politics. Like Nimrod, some seek validation and recognition, wanting to stand out before the Lord or before others. But here is the question: are we seeking greatness for the right reason? Is our ambition rooted in humility and a desire to serve, or is it driven by pride and a need for control? 2. Nimrod and the kingdom he built, a leader with power and ambition. The Bible goes on to describe Nimrod as the founder of several cities in Mesopotamia, including Babel, later known as Babylon, Iraq, Akkad, and Calneh in Genesis 10, verse 10. This expansion points to Nimrod's exceptional leadership ability and his determination to build a legacy. Babel is particularly significant because it became the site of the Tower of Babel, a symbol of human pride and rebellion against God. You can see this in Genesis 11, verse 1 to 9. So, modern reflection. Nimrod's empire building efforts can be compared to today's leaders who strive to build great business, cities, or movements. Ambition in itself isn't inherently wrong. Many leaders today aim to create something lasting that will influence generations to come. However, the spirit behind Nimrod's work was one of self-glorification. His building of Babel can be seen as an attempt to create something that will make a name for himself and his kingdom. You can see this in Genesis 11, verse 4. This raises an important question for us. Are we building our Babels, our personal empires, out of a desire for recognition and control, or are we seeking to build something that honors God and serves others? 3. The Tower of Babel, a symbol of rebellion. The story of Nimrod's legacy culminates in the Tower of Babel. In Genesis 11, the people of the world, unified under Nimrod's leadership, attempt to build a tower that reaches the heavens. Their goal was not just to build a tall structure, but to make a name for themselves and avoid being scattered across the earth. This act was a direct rebellion against God's command to fill the earth in Genesis 9, verse 1. Nimrod, as a leader, allowed this prideful ambition to flourish, and the result was confusion and division. So modern reflection. The Tower of Babel is one of the clearest biblical warning about the danger of pride, unity without purpose, and seeking to elevate oneself above God. In today's world, we see this kind of pride in corporate greed, political power struggle, and even in social media, where individuals or corporations often attempt to elevate their own image, just as God confused the languages at Babel to humble humanity. We too can experience confusion in our pursuit when they are driven by selfish ambition. It's a reminder that without God at the center of our endeavors, we may end up with an empire that crumbles, a tower that collapses under its own weight. 4. Nimrod's legacy. A cautionary tale of leadership. Nimrod is often depicted as a symbol of tyranny and oppression in biblical tradition. His name is often associated with mighty warriors who used their strength for conquest and control. In later Jewish writing, Nimrod is portrayed as a cruel ruler who opposes God and seeks to establish his own kingdom through force and intimidation. The legacy of Nimrod is a complex one. While he was a great leader in terms of power and influence, he used those qualities for self-glorification rather than serving God's purpose. So modern reflection. Nimrod's leadership style serves as a cautionary tale for today's leaders, whether in government, business, or even in families. While ambition and leadership are necessary to achieve great things, it's crucial to ask, are we leading with humility? Are we using our influence to serve others? Or are we wielding power for selfish gain? In a world where power is often seen as an ultimate goal, Nimrod's life calls us to reflect on how we use the power and influence we have been given. 5. Lesson from Nimrod for our lives today. 1. The danger of pride. Nimrod's downfall started with pride, the desire to make a name for himself. Today, pride is one of the most common pitfalls, whether in our personal lives or careers. We must examine our motive and ensure that we aren't building our own towers that are meant to elevate us rather than glorifying God. 2. Ambition with purpose. While ambition isn't inherently wrong, Nimrod's ambition was mismanaged. We must learn to channel our ambition towards purposes that honor God, whether it's in our professional lives, our ministries, or in our personal relationship. Our drive should be to build something that contributes to the good of others, not just ourselves. And finally, true leadership. True leadership, as we see in the Bible, is about service, humility, and obedience to God's will. Nimrod's leadership, though effective in its time, ultimately failed because it was self-centered. The Bible teaches that the greatest leaders are those who serve and lead with integrity. In today's world, we are called to be leaders who uplift others, lead with wisdom, and honor God in all that we do. So in conclusion, Nimrod and us. Nimrod's life reminds us of the fine line between ambition and arrogance, between leadership for God's glory and for personal gain. In today's world, we are constantly confronted with opportunities to build, to lead, and to rise in power. But like Nimrod, we must be careful that our ambition doesn't lead to pride, rebellion, or selfishness. Instead, let us build lives that reflect humility, service, and faithfulness to God. As we pursue greatness, let us remember that true greatness is found in honoring God and serving others. Amen.